Hi, welcome back to Dan's Details. It's been a little bit since we've given an update on the 72 C-10. It doesn't mean that I haven't been working. I've been working extremely hard on this thing. So we're going to do a recap on what we've accomplished here lately. Let's go over here and look at this truck. So on the top side, we now have the Champion radiator installed, which is black. The Speed Engineering long tube headers are installed. All the coil packs. The Holley harness, we are going to go ahead and loom the injector wires. They're loomed to a certain extent, but then they cut the loom off. So we're going to go ahead and loom this just to keep everything black. All of the coil pack wires I have ran under the coils and then just come up at 90. Went ahead and did a return style regulator that I went ahead and hard mounted on the back of the passenger fuel rail, because if you recall, we did the crossover in the front. If you come over here and look right back here, we even had to notch the cover on the radiator for this fuel line to be able to do the crossover in the front. Still have a few wires from a Holley harness not ran. We'll go ahead and get those here soon. Went ahead, did the blackout Willwood master and reservoir, did the blackout proportioning valve, adjustable, because we are doing four-wheel disc brakes on this truck made by CPP. I can't recall it. I think it's 13s on the front and 12s on the rear. Don't quote me on that, but I think that might be the case. I went ahead, the 4L80 in this truck is going to be shifted with the factory shift linkage. We use CPP shift linkage. Obviously, it's a 4-speed transmission, so 2 and 1. But my main objective was to get the drive, neutral, reverse, and park to line up. We may try to incorporate a different selector up here that'll show 3, 2, and 1, but I'm not certain that they make one yet. So we'll go from there. Okay, I went ahead and mounted the Terminator X Max in the cab under the passenger seat. Went ahead, there's a mount, the TX Max mount for the Holley Terminator, mounted it. Bought a second one to mount my relays and my fuses on, and then had a bulkhead designed for the X Max the harness, where wire or power, main harness, transmission controller come through it. I went ahead and mimicked on the bottom of the truck this exact bulkhead so that it sandwiches together and looks extremely good under there. Also in the cab with the touch screen for the Terminator X Max, we'll go ahead and run a magnet mount right here. And we'll do that for right now until we see exactly where we want it at. I was talking about the bulkhead for the Holley Terminator X Max. This is the bottom side of that bulkhead. Matching, did longer bolts so that we can bolt it all together, sandwich the floor, and it's nice and finished. In the last video, what we did is I showed that I had put this TenWorks Fab transmission crossmember in for the 4L80. Since then, I came back and we added the trailing arm crossmember made by TenWorks. Nice hardware, nice fitment. Uses, obviously, the hardest part is getting these rivets, the factory rivets, out of here under the bed and everything. But all of their hardware goes back in the factory holes where the rivets were. Really nice piece. Somewhat difficult to get this in and get the trailing arms hooked to it. There are multiple adjustments back here on the trailing arms so that you could adjust which hole you want it in based on your ride height and how you want your axle to sit. And I think increased traction, different settings as well. As I talked about in the cab, this is the CPP linkage adapter, and it's adjustable, and it hooks to the 4L80 so that you can use the factory shifter to go through the gears of this transmission. As far as the work that I've done so far, we're just going to keep moving forward. I have the wideband hooked in, not plugged into the harness yet. We have, different pieces of the harness we have to button up, screw to the floor, or I've got some nice little wiring harness holders. We're putting all brand new 4-wheel disc brakes on this truck. It has front disc. We're going to swap these out, swap the spindle out, do all new brake lines, convert the rear drums to disc with CPP calipers. And I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll keep you guys a little more updated as we move forward. Some of the wiring placement, how I'm going to finish buttoning up the wires. I have to wire the starter and do a few things, get the intercooler pump installed, heat exchanger, and plumb all of the fuel. That's another thing, the fuel lines. I have started the fuel lines. We have -8 feed, -8 return. We are going to do a return style fuel system on here from Holley. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.